Part two of my Brad Pitt story, Brad Pitt movie. So I went to Fort Edmonton Park, and we all got in costume. Our costumes fitted because what we did is we had a fitting day, and then we had to do a shoot. So it was it was just 2 days, but very long days. They were, I don't know, 14 hours long or something like that. So we went in on to get our costumes fitted to us. This was so interesting. This company had racks and racks and racks of period correct, real, authentic clothing from the time period of Jesse James. This stuff was all from England. I've learned that they got them from estate sales. And we're in there, and there's assistants helping us find, pants and shirt and overcoat, hat. I had a fake mustache put on me, even though I had a real mustache. I had a longer mustache put on. So everybody's getting suited up. And then maybe it was just half a day, and then the other day was shooting. So we went into to get our costumes, and then we were put on these little a van, and then we were taken to about 1 block away from where the set was. So the van dropped us off, and I just stood there. I didn't know what to do. I thought there was like cameras all over, and we were on set, and I didn't want to mess anything up. So the van drove off, and then the van comes back, and the van driver says, "What are you doing still standing there?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to mess something up. I don't know where the cameras are." He says, "Well, you walk down to the end of the block, and you'll see that the camera's there, and that's called the set. And the set is where they're filming, not where you're standing." So I felt like a big dummy. So me and the other people, we just started walking down the boardwalk, and we got to the set, and then we just started doing what the director told us to do. So there was this rhythm that started where the director would yell, "Quiet on the set, rolling," and then you do whatever, and then he'd yell, "Cut." So you had either an action or some lines. We never were on set with Brad Pitt. He was never there. There was the Parker lady, though. There was a scene where she had to cry because she found out that Jesse James had been killed. So we were on set with her. So we're shooting this stuff. There was some outdoor stuff to shoot, and then there was some stuff in the street to shoot, and I was right up close to the camera. And they had this trolley camera, and it was right there, right at my shoulder. I knew I was going to be on screen, but that never made it into the movie. If you want to find me in the movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford with Brad Pitt, go to the 2-hour and 15-minute mark, and there's a bunch of reporters that run across the street, and there's a scene that's looking out from inside the I think it's the photographer's shop, and pressed up against the window is a bunch of reporters, and I was a reporter, so one of those people was me. And you have to slow down the movie to 1 frame at a time, and I'm in there for a couple of frames. I did find myself, and then I put the photographs, screen captures on CD, and then the CD either failed or I threw it out or something. I don't even think I have it anymore. But it's the 2-hour and 15-minute mark if you want to start looking for me. So one of the other memorable things was when he said quiet, when the director said quiet on the set, everything had to stop. All the people walking on the boardwalk had to stop. Horses had to stop. And the delivery trucks that were delivering craft services had to stop. So they turned off their engine, and then they would do a little bit of filming, and then he'd yell cut, and then all this noise would start up again. The trucks would start up and continue. We could go for food anytime we had a break. They call it craft services, and you could get all kinds of drinks and sandwiches and whatever. And I was in the there was an inside scene. It was supposedly in the I think it was the mortuary or funeral home, something like that, or it was the photography shop. I don't know. Maybe they were combined. It was part photography shop and part-time mortuary. Anyway, we were standing in this completely dark room, and there was a wax dummy of Brad Pitt on a slab. It looked exactly like Brad Pitt. You would think he was just going to wake up and start talking to people. Every hair in his head, in the dummy's head, was exactly visible, like up close to the naked eye. So if it's good enough for the naked eye to fool us, it was good enough to fool a camera. So we're standing in there waiting to shoot the scenes of Brad Pitt lying in state. And one of the hands come around, and he's handing out cigarettes. These are period correct cigarettes, like no filter, no nothing. He says, "Who wants a cigarette? Somebody has to smoke." So he's handing out cigarettes, and the guy beside me, he takes a cigarette and he starts smoking it. I didn't want a cigarette, but if you look at that scene, you'll see that there are people smoking, and you'll see that all of their cigarettes are exactly burned the same amount, which would never happen in real life, but they didn't think of that. So the guy, the stagehand, he hands out all these period correct cigarettes. He lights everybody's cigarette, and then they start rolling, right? They start shooting. So I was talking to the guy. He said he didn't smoke. He doesn't smoke, but he took one just so that when his relatives see him in the movie, he'll be smoking, and it'll be such a big gag that here he is with this makeup and period correct clothing, and he's smoking. So that was pretty cool. Now there was another character in that movie. He was either the photographer or the mortician. And this guy, I'm not insulting him, he looks gaunt. He is absolutely perfect for that role. He's got a real rugged Western style look, and he's gaunt. And I was talking to him at break time, and a bunch of us were talking to him because he had a line. He actually said a couple of words, and he got a higher rate of pay than the rest of us. We all got minimum wage because we are automatically in some kind of union when you be an extra in Alberta. He got a higher rate of pay because he had a couple words to say. And we were like dancing around the big question, the big elephant in the room was like, how come he looks gaunt? Like, did he not eat? And then how did they find him? So anyway, the story behind that is, true story, the casting crew had presented some mortician / photographers, whatever his role was, to the director. The director didn't like any of them. So the casting crew said, look, took the director, let's go to the bars along White Avenue. We'll see if we can find somebody. So they went searching through the different bars, and apparently like the third bar they went into, they saw this guy sitting there. They walked up to him. They said, we are casting call. We're shooting a movie at Fort Edmonton Park. You look perfect for the role. I mean, they sought him out. This is what he told us. And then he said, like we were saying, like, are you a vegetarian or something? How come you're so skinny? And he said, no, I have a genetic disease which makes me look like this. So his disease ended up being a benefit, and he got the role of mortician / photographer. I don't know. You guys watch the movie, you'll see what it is. You'll recognize him. And I think what happened was he might only be there in the movie for like a couple of frames. It wasn't much. And all his stuff was cut out anyway. I don't think he speaks. The lines that he was saying, I don't think they made it into the final cut of the movie. But I'm pretty sure he's in there. But again, you'll have to watch the movie. It's a really long, really boring, really horrible movie, and it did awful at the box office. lost money. It's a depressing movie. I would say don't even watch the movie. Just go to the part that I'm in it and have a look. So I think that's it for the Brad Pitt movie adventure. More videos to come. This is the end of part 2.